SOS on Wall Street. If anyone had any doubt that the economy would play a huge role in this campaign, this evening's headlines left no doubt. In the waning days of the Bush presidency, a new type of storm, a financial storm, hit America hard. Just weeks before, President Bush had predicted good economic weather ahead.
My belief is that the fundamentals of our economy are strong.
Wednesday, September 17, 2008, just days after investment giant Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, Americans go on a bank run. It was the day Wall Street stood still.
Then on that one Wednesday, over $140 billion withdrawn. People were scared. They just wanted out. Clutch the cash like food in a famine.
But with this storm, as with Katrina, President Bush was mostly out of sight. The next day, he finally spoke for all of 2 minutes.
The American people can be sure we will continue to act to strengthen and stabilize our financial markets and improve investor confidence. Thank you.
He took no questions as the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression was looming. The next day, September 19th, flanked by Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson and Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke, Bush announced an unprecedented $700 billion plan for the Feds to buy bad debt from banks.
Given the precarious state of today's financial markets and their vital importance to the daily lives of the American people, government intervention is not only warranted, it is essential.
We have never had a government intervening in the market to the extent that the Bush administration has intervened. What he himself did were acts of what might be called socialism.
It was a 180-degree turnabout for a man who confidently took office as a free market conservative.
Our new governing vision says government should be active but limited, engaged but not overbearing.
A very crucial decision that was made was hands-off of Wall Street and, the large institutions and the big banks in a way that kind of laid the groundwork for the financial crisis.
For years, Bush's laissez-faire approach seemed to work. After a 9/11 downturn, the U.S. economy came back strong, fueled by Bush's tax cuts and a massive housing boom, one he zealously promoted.
To give every American a stake in the promise and future of our country, we will build an ownership society.
But by 2006, some economists were characterizing the housing boom as a housing bubble, like the internet bubble of the 90s, but much bigger.
It was not like there were a whole lot of other voices in the country saying, stop this housing bubble before it inflates. People were enjoying it, and Congress was with him.
You had homeowners that were lured into very risky mortgages that they didn't understand, that had, very punishing aspects to them, interest rates that were going to escalate dramatically, prepayment penalties that were punishing.
August 2007. Two Bear Stearns investment funds based on subprime mortgages went belly up. Soon, home prices tumbled and mortgage holders began to default. As the crisis grew, Paulson and Bernanke took charge. Bush, the decider, once again farmed out some critical decisions.
He's obviously not into economics, and most people aren't. But when you're in the Oval Office, you got to make sure you get on top of it. Abraham Lincoln knew nothing about war and military, and he learned very quickly. And that's what you got to do. And this president did not.
In late September 2008, Paulson and Bernanke crafted the $700 billion bailout to try to stop the firestorm. It was quickly going global. The president found himself espousing measures that were once anathema to him.
Those of you who have followed my career know that I'm a free market person. Until you're told that if you don't take decisive measures, then it's conceivable that our country could go into depression greater than the Great Depression.
Victimized by his own anti-regulation ideology, George W. Bush suffered the final humiliating blow to his legacy, the one delivered by the American people on election night.
There was a shift in American politics last night, the kind that takes place once in a great while.
The signs that we have been seeing lately are signs of a man who's ready to go home to Texas, who recognizes that his power has diminished to near nothingness and that perhaps America would be better served with the page turned.
The financial crisis may be the event that defines his presidency as much as the Iraq War.